Just finish our drinks. Let's get outside. I'll call the taxi and see where the night takes us.
Laugh. Get the icing, get the icing, get the icing. Make her take a bite. You take a bite, Ben. Kiss her. Real life! Real life! Everybody give everybody a break. How do you feel looking? Yeah.
What? No, that is not real life because that's never happened to me in real life. I feel good. Definitely, I feel good. I got out of my head.
Yes, you did.
And I'm proud of myself for that because that took a lot. And I said a little prayer to myself in the back room. And I said, Dear God, please let this be organic. Amen. And I just kind of went with it. I decided to make my own definitive choices and just kind of take it and run with it from there.
And I liked how you listened. But you didn't just listen to Ben with your ears. You know what I'm saying? You really listened. How did you feel working with Ben?
It was different, but it was great. I mean, he definitely took a lot of risk and kind of put himself out there, which is nice as, you know, someone who's your scene partner because it gives me a lot to work with.
Yes.
So then I can kind of play off and, you know, have different nuances and stuff like that. So it was interesting.
And Ben?
I had to take risks because she was, Danielle was making me work. You made me work. I was a little concerned because none of the tricks were working. Made me work. Thank you.
You guys did great work. It was really real. It was, and that last with the cupcake and the moment and you released Ben. That was so nice. Like, okay, I got it back. You know what I'm saying? Very nice. I'll open up the floor before we get out of here.
I want a cupcake.
I heard Ashley over here.
Twice. When they did the scene, she was like jealous. It was good. It was really good.
Y'all captured.
Very, very good.
You did. You guys were very compelling.
I was sitting here like this.
Taiwan?
Just what you said, just that relief, like
That beat.
just all that, just climb like that. It's just, it was so good.
Are you guys learning from each other? Jessica?
Yeah. I wanted to say to what you just said, Danielle. I feel like it's about doing your homework like beforehand and not necessarily right before your scene so that you can still see it in your performance. I feel like, you know, when we do our homework the night before, or a couple days before, and you just come here and connect with your scene partner, it becomes organic. So, you know, that little prayer, taking that in consideration and that little prayer, it's like just come in here and be. And I feel like, you know, that's what you did. You achieved that goal. So that's important for everybody, just to you know, have your goal. Just come in here and be. Like, do your homework, you know, the day before, a couple hours before, and then just drop in and be when it's time
And
to
let
be.
it go and trust it will show up in the most mystical, magical moments that you can't even try to contrive. One last comment, Deshauna, Jason.
Okay. Oh, I just had something quick to say. No, I was just saying I like the choice that Danielle made, showing her a celebrity. She made a strong choice to show what kind of star that she was and what level she was.
Absolutely.
So I liked that choice. Yeah.
Absolutely. Deshauna.
I was gonna make the comment, and I was gonna make it earlier, but I'm glad I saved it. The gentleman, both Tywin and Ben, seeing them work with two different females and seeing how some of it, like, I mean, they had the same outfits on, some of the things, you know, the quirks, like, it was still them, but it was still so different. Like, the time you took off your hat with Kalita was completely different than when you took it off with but it was the same movie.
Because we're telling different stories.
Yeah, and I think that is definitely something that, you know, that I can see, and I'm like, wow, that's so dope how the same lines, you know, it's different people, but you really feed off of each other. So I think that's, it's truly important for us to learn to be able to do the research and to know, but to allow yourself to follow the scene, because, you know, the way I do it with Asante will be completely different from how I do it with Shay, and be able to have that versatility and think on your feet and know that character enough to know how she would respond or he would respond.
And I think that's where Ben and Tywin did really well, is clearly defined characters, clearly defined. They knew what they wanted, they knew what they needed, they understood what this woman meant to them. You know what I'm saying? So, and you're not far from getting there too. You just have to own this. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different look. I mean, because you watch a bunch of people, they all play a certain way. So you try to, when you try to go for that, that's when you mess yourself up. You have to play a little bit of what your personality is.
You have to play a lot of it.
Yeah, when you
but
play,
but when you have to construct a character, and that's where you got stuck, Todrick. There was no character work. You just thought you were going to be charming Todrick, and it just wasn't working for the circumstances. It just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to recapture a moment that was so pristine, and it happens. You know, and so you got to trust that another moment is there. And I think your focus was just not on the performance or the art or the work, but you were coming in a result again. You know, you were still coming in. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. You know what I mean? You don't know how you're gonna do it. Don't ever think you know that. Just do as much homework as you can and then throw it away.
It was weird. It was weird because, I mean, watching the scenes with everybody's, how different everything was, I was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to take that and I'm going to use that and da-da-da-da-da. But then I got here and I don't know, I forgot it all. And I just came in and I did something completely different and completely out the box. And I surprised myself. Like, just sitting here, I was like, oh, I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for the scene to start. What can I do that'll be different or whatever? Yes.
But that should but that should never be the goal. What can I do that will be different?
Right, but that's what I'm saying, that I didn't do that, that I came into the scene and kind of, even though I took all that stuff and took it in, I threw it all away and I just kind of came and made it my own.
Exactly.
And I think
because you have the trust inspiration. It's transference. It's transference. It's transference of genius. It's there. So all it was supposed to do when you saw this great work before you was just enlighten you and inspire you. And enlightenment and inspiration is powerful enough for you to get to wherever you need to get to. Because in the scene, he's the power.
Right.
If you surrender to him and he surrenders to you, that's where the beauty of the genius of the work is.
Right.
Not in any preconceived notions of what can I do, how, other than character work, other than character and story. That's it. One last comment, Jessica.
I wanted to ask you a question. In auditions, however, shouldn't that kind of be your goal, is to be different when everybody has the same size?
Nope. Nope. It is to tell the story truthfully. That's it.
Everybody different.
Yeah. You are different. So you don't have to go with the goal to be. If your preoccupation is, you don't know if you're being different because you're not sitting in on everybody else's audition. So you don't know that. It's to tell this story truthfully. Period. Point blank, end of story. Once you find what the story is, everybody thought, okay, Platinum, Harvard, Yale, Fifth Avenue, she's a bitch.